Hi Annika, this is Jeff Ritter out in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to look at your golf swing. And from what I've seen so far, you are well on your way to being one heck of a player. A lot of things you do so well naturally, but as with anything, there's a little bit of room to improve, which it sounds like you're up to hearing about. So the first thing, when we look at your swing on the left versus my swing on the right, I want you to notice the difference in how far I am from the ball, but more importantly, where my weight is. My weight is leaning a little bit more towards the golf ball, whereas your weight is leaning just a little bit more away from the golf ball. So the way I kind of describe this, I've got this great dog, this golden retriever, and I can't keep her out of my swimming pool. And the thing is if the swimming pool is right here and we're playing ball, she wants to attack that pool by diving in here and getting all wet. She loves that. Now, conversely, as much as a dog likes water, cats don't like water very much at all. So, whereas my dog has got an attack mentality leaning towards the pool, a cat might have a retreat mentality leaning away from the pool. So if you imagine the edge of your pool right here, just like so, and of course all the water's in here, right? What I need you to do is I need you to feel like you're going to lean more, like you're going to dive into the water, just like my dog, okay? In order to do that, you might have to feel like your feet get just a little bit further away from the ball as well. But my goal here for you is to get you just a little bit more balanced, more attacking, more solid, and more aggressive. So hopefully that makes more sense. From here, what I want to do is just show you a little bit about a concept called swing plane, P-L-A-N-E. And it's all swing plane means is just the shape of your golf swing. So when you look at your golf club, it's built on a certain angle, just like that, by the manufacturer. And if you're going to swing on plane, it just means that you're going to swing kind of back, down, and through on about the same angle as much as possible. The more you do that, the more consistent your shots are going to be. So when I swing back here, notice how my club kind of swings right up along that yellow line. And then as I get up to the top of my backswing here, look at how my left arm and the club kind of match that yellow line. And also look at how my hands are just over top of my right shoulder, right there. Well, when you swing back, you start off on a real nice path, kind of up the line, but then you start to lift your arms up just a little bit too high at the top. So right now, your left arm would be a little bit better if it was more in here, and your hands would be a little more in a correct spot if they were a little bit more down here, more over top of your shoulder, just like so. Well, watch how on the right-hand side, how my club comes right back down on about the same path that I went back on, and then I swing back on around my body in the follow-through. Well, because my backswing had my hands kind of right over my shoulder right here, then my follow-through can actually swing back around so that my hands go right to about the same spot. So check out how cool this is. If I take this little circle and I put it around my hands right here, there's my backswing. Watch where my hands go in my follow-through. Right back through the same circle. So your golf swing, it is just a circle. You swing in a circle back away from the ball, and you swing in a circle after contact into your follow-through. And what we're trying to do is get both sides of the circle to match up as much as possible. So where you swing down, notice how your follow-through goes around really nicely. So your hands are in that circle where they should be. The problem is because your hands are sort of out of the circle and your arms are up too high in the backswing, it just requires that you're too coordinated and it requires too much of your athletic talent to hit consistent shots over and over again. So I think you've got a really good foundation, especially for where you are on the follow-through side of things. But if we could just get your setup a little bit more solid and a little more balanced properly, and then get your backswing to be a little bit better to match how good your follow-through is, then you'll be well on your way. So hopefully that makes sense. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop in front of the camera here so you can watch me live, and I'll show you a couple of keys here to getting better. Okay, so here I'm just going to explain all the stuff about cats and dogs that I talked about before. So first thing is, when you set up, you just get a little too close to the ball, which means that you have to kind of lean back a little bit on your heels in order to create enough room to make contact. When you're leaning back on your heels, you're getting back away from what you're trying to hit, which isn't a very powerful position to be in. So I was talking about my dog that likes to play in the pool. The edge of the pool is right here. She likes to attack. She likes to go swimming. She likes to make that big splash. So she has more of a leaning forward, attacking mentality, just like so, leaning into what I'm trying to stray, versus what the alley cat would do, which is not want to get wet and retreat back away. Keep in mind, whatever you're working on in your game, there's only three possibilities. So if we're talking about your balance and your weight, well, you can only be properly balanced, right here kind of in the middle of your feet. You could be leaning too far forward, so you fell over this way, or you could be leaning too far back, so you could fall over this way. So what I want you to do is practice a concept called trapping. And trapping is all about feeling both sides of the extreme and then settling down in the middle. So go ahead and take your 7-iron, get set up. And what I want you to do is lean too far forward, so you're off balance, lean too far back, so you're off balance, and then settle in the middle where you feel balanced. If you do that a couple of times, lean forward, lean back, find the middle, you're going to find that comfortable place where you can actually hit a golf shot with a lot of power and not have your balance be an issue. From here, what we have to do is we have to learn how to get the shape of our backswing just a little more properly built. So what you're going to do, and hopefully you have one of these, if not, there's probably someone near you that does, is you're going to find the golf bag. So your golf bag sits on a natural angle, which just so happens to be the same angle as your golf club. So if I take this bag, and I take the 7-iron, and I lay them down naturally, you can see how the bag and the 7-iron match each other. So one of the best training aids that you can actually have for helping the shape of your backswing is actually practicing with your very own golf bag. So you're going to set up, put your bag in front of a mirror, then just practice tracing your golf club right along the side of the bag, just like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to trace the bottom of your swing, and then you're going to trace up to the top of your swing, so that when you're done, your hands are in front of your shoulder, your left arm and the club shaft are on the same angle as the bag. That's where you want to be. With your swing, when we look on video, the takeaway looks pretty good, but then what happens? You actually lift your arms up too much, just like so, and now your hands are too high, too much above your shoulder, and the left arm is not getting too vertical relative to the back. So we talked about this idea of trapping with our weight, too far forward, too far back, to settle in the middle. Well, you can also practice in the mirror trapping the perfect shape of your backswing. Again, there's only three possibilities. One would be to have the left arm too low. See how it's underneath my right shoulder? Just like so. We call that being too flat. The other extreme would be to have the left arm too high. Now it's above my shoulder. We call that being too steep. Of course, in between too flat and too steep would be having the left arm perfectly on the shoulder, which would be what we call on plane. That's where I want you to be. So, two things. Number one, trap your weight, heel to toe. Get more of that attacking mentality, like you're going to be diving into that swimming pool. Get your golf bag and put it in front of a mirror and start practicing tracing the angle of your backswing, probably with your 7-iron. That'll match up nicely to your golf bag. From the bottom up to the top, and then down and through into the follow-through. See my follow-through position right here? My hands are right over my shoulder, and what do you see? The angle of the shaft is matching the angle of the bag. That's what I was saying when I was talking about completing the circle. We swing back with our hands and our left arm over the right shoulder, and then we swing through with our hands and our right arm over the left shoulder. So, it looks like your golf swing is in a really great place for development. Love the way your follow-through looks. You're definitely an athletic kid. Stick with it. Practice hard. If you have any questions at all, send me an email, jeff@jeffrittergolf.com. Be happy to answer any questions you have and walk you through some of these changes.